She's Lavagna.
And she's Kaysha Louvain. And this is Tea for Two.
Us, you, and a bloody brew. Hiya.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Happy Tuesday, 7 a.m. Gosh.
I know. Harsh, innit?
So early and we look so good.
You imagine if we had to do it live at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Be a killer, that would.
Absolutely. Well, no chance. No chance in hell.
No.
Right, let's have a cup of them before.
Yeah, I've just realised I'm going to have to go for the poisoned cups because I've just gone to wash my other one. That's fine. No, I'm fine with that. I'll pour yours first.
Okie dokie, thank you. Yeah, you could do that if you want.
Listen, big news. I think I've got Kaysha to... why is this leaking? Because it's broken. Or was it the way I'm pouring
Put it on
it?
the stroke. Go on. That's enough. Jesus fucking Christ.
Right.
I'll what?
Stop now.
I don't care about my now.
No, we were doing really well.
No, I don't. Do you know why I don't care anymore? Let me put my phone on silent because it's just gonna buzz. I don't care.
Inundated.
I know. I don't care because when I go to advertise our episodes, people just reckon it's shocking content anyway, and that is even before the swearing.
Well,
so what's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
No. There we are.
Thank you.
No worries.
And regarding the tea, I can drink
so much tea
with milk first or with tea first. I do both. I don't complain. I really don't. As long as it's got a bit more milk than other people's, then I don't care.
Yeah.
Check this out. Go on.
Check my biscuits, will you? I need some energy. I do.
It's alright. I might dabble in one of them.
Yeah. Can I do ASMR?
Go on
with
then.
the biscuits at the same time as you do sugar. Ready?
Oh, okay. That's a different podcast. Well, that's one way doing.
It's just
yeah,
aggressive.
It is. Everything's just loud with you, isn't it?
And it's just, I'm a drummer. I can't help it.
Jesus,
I got a bell on every tooth. Oh, that is stale.
Oh, is it that bad?
It's chewy.
Oh.
I
I actually like the other ones. I didn't like them. I gotta be careful because of my mouth.
What?
Mouth off.
That's my pet peeve, you know.
Well,
People put an F on the end of it word.
my tough.
That, for me, is up there with you. You know?
Ooh.
That's how that makes me feel. Tough.
Oh.
It's...
I'm gonna find some more words to do that now.
No, you're not.
Oh, what about?
No.
So what have you been doing this week, love?
I have been... Why do you ask me now? I've just taken a bite of my biscuit.
So point now.
Why?
I just want to see all that chocolate in your mouth.
I have been... Hang on, let me take a sip of tea. God, the ASMR's naturally just coming out, innit? I have been rocking out in the Shaman Theatre.
Sorry. Sorry. Carry on.
Can we bring some class back into this room?
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
I know, we knew that.
I did it for 2 episodes. I appeased Granny June.
Oh God! Appeased!
Appeased Granny June. And then I said, no, gone. Bye.
I'll go Granny.
Yeah.
I can really get behind that. I've come up with that today, and it's going to be... WhatsApp name's going to change now. I'll go Granny. What do I need to watch next? You tell me.
Yeah.
Like the algorithm, but better. It's a personal algorithm. I've been rocking out in the Shaman Theatre doing a 70s rock and roll play musical called Housemates, which I haven't mentioned before.
Not at all. Never heard of it.
No, but like, to be fair, when you actually get employed to do a job as an actor and you're not just auditioning for stuff, it does take over your life. Like, you've got to put so much of yourself into it. Like, even on my day off today, in terms of like, I haven't got to be there to warm up until 6.
Yeah.
I'm already, I woke up this morning going, right, I need 3 hours to get my hair into curls for them to dry, to do the overnight curls in the day. So I know I've got to leave here by 2 to get home by 3. So I've got 4, 5, 6. I've got 3 hours before warm up. You wake up going, I need to make sure I'm prepared and ready by that time.
I don't think normal people, and I'm going to call them normal people who don't do shows and gigs.
Yeah, like 9 to 5. 9 to 5 is.
Yeah, those people.
Those corporate.
Yeah. They don't understand that even though you've got a show or a gig in the night, it's not a day off.
It takes over your day.
Because you've got to plan like what you eat, that you're not
like... you've got to make sure you're not having too much like dairy and things.
But like we were talking about the other day, bread's my big thing. If I'm singing, I can't eat bread like 2-3 hours before I start. I can't be doing
maybe a wrap.
Yeah, maybe. But then you've got to think about like getting ready, planning routes, the travel there. Whether you're obviously if I'm packing equipment into the car,
takes time,
and all the stuff like that. People don't realise, they just see you on stage and that's it. They don't think of the other things. That
people still don't really realise that you're called into a theatre at least an hour and a half before the show, and that is in the schedule, giving you time to do hair and makeup and stuff. But realistically, in most shows, what you're asked to do, especially as a woman or a dame, or it depends on your costume and stuff. Not necessarily women, but majority. You're asked to do all that stuff, and half an hour to get changed and do all of your makeup and hair and stuff actually isn't enough time.
God, no.
So that's how much we get officially in the schedule, though. But I've got to start getting ready before now. And for me to be calm, and especially in this show, I'm drumming, so like I want to make sure I'm really warm on top with my hands and arms and wrists and fingers and everything, shoulders.
What exercise do you do for that?
I actually do this.
Yeah.
Because it stretches each finger.
Nice.
I know what you're trying to get at, and I'm going to give you a serious response.
I'm literally not.
Also,
I am asking.
There's lots of different ones you can do, because I did injure my hand for the first time ever.
Yes, you did. And I was there
on this show.
That is going.
As far as I'm aware, that like the swelling's gone down. I mean, it hasn't actually that much.
Do you get more injuries when you're in a relationship or out of one?
In.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Just. No, I waited for you to go, fuck off.
Like my I was obviously making a joke that my hand basically broke after Valentine's Day, and it's the first one I've celebrated in 5 years. You can imagine the level of usage.
The wrist.
The wrist action.
The wrist action. I had a good old bashing.
Like a guitarist wouldn't need to tell everyone that, but I'm a drummer, so people are like, have you done your wristing then? I'm like, well. Yeah. Oh. And it was my right hand as well, which is my dominant hand.
That's why I questioned it.
Yeah, but also to be fair, I was driving a lot. It's weird. It is weird. On a serious note, as a musician, when you hurt a part of your hand, or I guess voice, but I'm talking a bit more like muscly.
Yeah.
You kind of do realise, like, you think, in my head I was going, right, I've got to be really careful when I'm drumming now. I'm going to tape it up. I've got ibuprofen cream. I've got lots of things going on to try and help it, because I can't not do it for a while. So I'm just going to have to get through the next month, and then I'll deal with the injury afterwards. I'll go for a massage, or I'll go and see somebody again to be like, right, now that I'm not doing it, what can I do to mend it, to make sure that doesn't happen again? And because this is the first time it's happened to me, I was terrified when it happened. I messaged you, didn't I? I was like, this is not good. Like, I can't move my hand. It hurts.
You just go to the worst case scenario.
Oh, I do it all the time. Like, I literally went from, my thumb hurts a bit, to like, my career's over.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to drum again.
Yeah.
I might as well get terminal cancer now and just leave this world.
Now, man. Bit harsh, you know? But I get it all the time. My wrist flares up quite often.
Well, a lot of musicians get RSI, don't they? Yeah. Repetitive strain injury.
Yes.
I've not really got that, because I've always had breaks from drumming. I'm not doing it consistently all the time. I should be. I mean, I am, because I practice all the time.
Lol.
But when I'm on a job, I go from kind of 0 to 100. But I know that, and I've got the knowledge of seeing other people get injuries on jobs and stuff. And I've gone, I don't want to be that person. But unfortunately, this time around, I think it's because it was a remount of a show that I've already done before. There was no kind of research and development of like, what can we do here? It was very much remember what you're doing and then we're running it.
Yeah.
So really, we're in week 2 of the show, but it feels like we're in week nearly 4 of the show because we were running it like 2 weeks in and at full, you know.
Go, like, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, RSI, there's tennis elbow, golfer's elbow, there's so many things you can get, and I just think that I've just overworked my hands a little bit generally.
Yeah.
But like what I was saying before is you realise then, I'm thinking to myself, right, I've got all these things that I'm doing on the drum kit to help me, and actually I'm not anticipating all the other ways I use my hand. Hair drying, that's my right hand. Brushing my hair, right hand. Doing my overnight curls, right hand, left hand. And then I'm driving to and from work, and I drive, you know, on the motorway. I'm clutching at the steering. I'm weirdly holding the steering wheel. So like over the last 3 weeks, just I've been like 10 to 2. No, was it?
10 to 2.
I've been doing 10 to 2, but like literally, like it's just taken over my life. I've been every minute I wake up, I got hot water bottles on it. I've iced the area that's inflamed. So it has been quite
I've learned
stressful time, really.
Probably over the last like 3 or 4 months, I've kind of learned when my hand is about to flare up if I've overworked it. Because a lot of mine is like on the laptop. I'm doing this quite a lot. Or I like playing on the PlayStation. So
phone.
It's this.
I've been holding my phone differently, and I to be honest, I've got off my phone quite a lot because it terrified me. Because the woman that I did see, not the chiropractor, what's her name, the physiotherapist that they sent me to in the Sherman, bless the Sherman, I literally went, I think my arm hurts a bit. And
Which is good.
They were like, we got you, we booked you in. I was like, okay, thanks.
Which is good.
It's great. And most companies, it's within their
it's a right, isn't it?
It's in their interest to look after because otherwise they'd be screwed without me. To be totally honest.
Well, yeah, who are they getting in?
I mean, like ridiculous. Yeah. One thing that she did tell me, which is really interesting, is because my hand was hurting. Kind of, if you look at your hand for anyone listening, it's a very good describing thing now, isn't it? Where your thumb is on your right hand, that kind of bone leading down to your wrist and all that area there was really hurting. So in rehearsals, I was like squeezing it because it was like releasing some pain. But she actually said I was probably doing more damage there. So when I went to my appointment, she literally quite literally pulled my thumb and said that like by pulling it like this, just on and off, which actually it's clicking at the moment, which is making my actual bones like. I hate clicking things. That's my I can't do it. I hate it. But she was like, if you pull in the ligaments away from each other, all of the swelling that's come up from you squeezing them together and pushing them together, all of the like liquid that's there is going to go between the joints and it's going to relieve the swelling naturally. Right, so I've just been pulling my thumb for the last fucking.
Yeah, have it worked?
Yeah, I think the swelling's gone down. You can still a bit bigger. The issue is that like, and this is a problem with acting musicianship in general, I think, if you get an RSI injury as a musician on an acting job and stuff, with regional theatre especially, unlike the West End, you haven't got understudies or people who can go, okay, I'll take the matinees this week so you're not doing all of the work. It is panic stations, really, because you're like, oh, we haven't got anyone else to fill in. Yeah. And, you know, companies manage, and I'm sure if something dreadful had happened, like I broke my arm, you know, they would have had to have got somebody in. I don't know what they would have done, but it is risky. It's risky business, but you got to look after yourself, though.
What if you were kind of lucky in a way that it was in rehearsals, rather than...
Well, it was in Tech Week.
Yeah.
Which was actually the worst week, because I was, rather than us just doing... Like, it's got better over the last week, because I'm just doing it once a day.
Yeah.
And I can cope with that, because I'm looking after myself in the meantime. But, like, when I went to my appointment at the start of Tech Week, I was going, oh, my God, like, she literally said to me, you need to, like, rest it as and where you can. And I just looked at her and I said... We're just running things in that theatre all day, every day, like 9 till 6 and then 6 till 10. Like, that's it. I'm screwed. But touch wood. You're going to launch yourself across the name like. Touch wood. I'm fine. And I've got through it. And there's not been that much drama other than I just needed a physiotherapy appointment. And I'll probably book in myself after the job just for her to check it, because I'm really conscious that my money maker are my hands, quite literally. Yeah. Like, and I've been thinking about, like the Musicians Union and what they offer in terms of like healthcare, because there is something linked to MU, isn't there? Because I got my in-years.
Yeah.
With them, because they meant to be like 300 quid, and they're down to £50 if you win the MU or whatever.
Yeah.
So I did that. But there's also something to do with, like, you can, like, insure your hands.
Yeah, there's
Have
loads.
you done that?
No.
And it made me think of, like,
is-
hand models and stuff. They insure their hands. But what does that mean?
I know, there's... Obviously, I'm on Musicians Union more for... like insurance for my...
Discounts.
On my, obviously my equipment, and when I
Yeah.
go to venues and all stuff like that. But there is so much you can go on there and research. Like I've done a bit for when I do funding, and you look at the rates that you're supposed to be putting in and everything like that. It's just, but again, it's finding the time to go on there and research and do stuff. Like people have jobs and lives and...
Well, I don't have a job as of the 4th of April. I'm unemployed again. So, somebody employ me from April the 4th onwards. And B, I'm gonna look into insuring my hands. I'm a drummer. Like, it makes
100%.
absolute sense to do that.
Which I should do as well, because...
Well, yeah, guitar. I say in drummer, like guitarist, anything.
Yeah.
Any musician,
Like
any
I
actor,
use-
anything.
Obviously, I play guitar and piano quite a lot.
Yeah, piano especially. If you're doing it so frequently, you
Piano
are
is
going
the
to get...
hard one, because
Yeah,
if I've had a
it's
flare
quite-
up, I've had to cancel some of my
Yes.
piano gigs. It is, you just can't. Like,
No.
with guitar,
You
because
could
it's
play
my
a bit like
it's my strumming hand.
Yeah.
And mainly I pick quite a lot. I can keep my wrist kind of...
Safely in a position. Yeah.
And I can just about get away with it. Piano's a no-go.
Yeah, I think with drums, for me especially, it's the weight stick that I use. The weight of stick I use. So, like, I said to Josh, our company manager, the other day, I was like, right, can you please order me in some 7As? And let me check what wood it is. If it's ivory, it's going to be lighter. Like, it depends literally on the wood, the girth, the length, and the weight of the stick. So
I'm being
I
very
just wanted to
serious
say
then.
girth.
I'd be very serious then. Because I was going to ask you a genuine question of how do you manage then changing weights? Because, like, for example, like a dart player, like if they used to throw in a weight and then they go, right, throw with this one.
Well,
that's
luckily anyway, because I'm a girl drummer and girl drummers are weak, I play with a light stick anyway.
All right, okay.
Yeah, because that's the well-known fact, isn't it? Can you tell I'm being sarcastic? No, I
think people can.
Because I've got good technique, I know that even if you're in a rock show, you do not necessarily need to play with a mad, thick, heavy stick.
Yeah.
If anything, in theatre, you should be playing with lighter sticks, because you're doing it so often. It's really bad for you to be like putting more stress on your shoulders and everything with acting. And I'm drumming in heels, so my posture's a lot different on the drum.
Yeah.
I've got to work all that out with like my breath and singing, and there's so much going on that I'm just like, give me the lightest stick possible, because I'll hit it harder if I need to for dynamics. But lots of housemates is underscore.
Yeah.
I think on the outside, looking at it and seeing the footage, people think it's a massive rock show in your face, and in many ways it is.
Yeah,
There are the big
way.
loud parts, but the bits people forget, because there's so much brilliant acting and scene stuff going on, is most of the time me and James are underscoring, and it's quiet playing and it's consistent, and your wrist is like this all the time.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. So you've got that on like a 5B would be like hell.
How? Yeah.
Oh, it's just awful.
I think... Well, I'm going to give you a compliment now, so... I know. Which I had like,
I'm gonna
massive...
distract myself and pour myself more tea.
I had like massive respect for you anyway.
Aww.
But then I came to see Housemates,
and lost
it kind
all of them.
no, it went up, because literally you come out and you had heels on, you had fucking trousers on, you had like your outfit. I was like, how are you drumming in there? Like anything if you're doing like
a
comfort,
corset, a suede corset.
Yeah, pretty was, wasn't it?
And two mic packs, one mic pack and one in-ear pack around my back, making it tighter. Like.
And I'm like, how? And it was the fact of as well. I was driving home and my mum come with me, and I was like,
Sally Ann.
Sal. We have a question off, which we'll...
good.
As soon as I say this point, we'll go into it, because it is to do with drumming as well.
Oh, cool.
As soon as we got in the car driving home, I was like, do you realise, which she does, but anyway, I was like, do you realise, like, if Caitlin messed up, that show is fucked. I was like in that scene, because like you said, because it's
fast.
Yeah. And it is you are playing underneath scenes and everything is timed, and I was like, if you miss a beat, that scene's fucked.
And also what I've done sometimes is because you are consistently concentrating on acting, being present with the acting in the space, putting your attention there, but also trying to use your peripheral to make sure the musicians are with you. And you're also counting in, you're setting tempos without any click. There's so much that you're thinking about. Plus, with this show, we've got an SN58 on all of the people on the band platform, because it's easier, obviously, above rather than this. Because that would pick up cymbals, wouldn't it? Like, so, like, we're also talking. So sometimes I'm like, whose line is it? And I'm like, oh my God, it's me. And then it takes me a second. I'm like, oh, and they're the days where I've had so much going on in the day and I've only just got down to the shaving for 6 o'clock and my A's not killed. And honestly, they're the days where you've got to... Now I've learned from doing so many shows that if I've had a crazy day, I do need that time to go, right, for the next 2 hours, let go everything that's just happened in the day. Do not reply to anyone just before you go on stage, you know, in terms of getting back to people. Which
you don't.
I'm really good now.
I know now that if I need to send you something...
It's got to be before 6 o'clock.
Or I just go, I send it, and I'm like, she ain't going to reply until either...
9:15 when I'm off stage.
Or usually it's like by the time you get home, like 11ish, and I'm like, I'll get it then, or she'll mess me the next day.
Yeah.
But I get that.
And you know that now because we are properly working together when I'm in a show. And I was nervous about it, wasn't I? I said to you, I was like, we got the podcast now and, you know, I'm happy to come and film when the show's up and running. I remember saying to you, Tech Week, don't ask me to do anything. There's no point. Like, and you were so good with it. And I just said, like, my schedule now is going to change and my attention to my music career and the other things have to take a back step. Yeah. But that's how I've always done it. It's like this. And then, you know, April 4th comes around, I find a way to get money from somewhere else and we go with the music again. Like, it's, you know.
I will say, though, right, I love you doing your music stuff, but seeing you in a show as an actor-musician is fucking another level. I'm swearing for emphasis, by the way, because if you have never seen a show with an actor-musician in, then I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do in my life.
Yeah.
I really don't, because these a lot of these, you know, plays and musicals are all great, but they're not fucking playing the soundtrack and acting. And honestly, it blows my mind in a way that I don't think I've ever had watching a show before.
You said that after Operation Julie as well.
Yeah, and then it was even more then when I saw Housemates.
Yeah, because then I said to you, didn't I? I was like, you should come see Housemates, but also it's actor muso, and that's all I needed to say to you. Then you're like, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm coming because
it's an actor muso show, and I know that's gonna be cool at some point. Yeah,
100%. So let's have come
on then
on the topic of music and all stuff like that.
And I'm gonna have another biscuit.
Our Sal. She's on Instagram now, right? And I think she messaged her.
She is.
She's on Instagram,
yeah.
Right?
But she's emailed it.
But she's emailed it. Maybe because she probably didn't know how to send our message, which I'll have to tell her about. But anyway, she says, "Hi, ladies. Firstly, absolutely loving the podcast. Loved hearing about Ella's experiences behind the show she's worked on. Questions. This is for you, Caitlin. Why the drums? And at what age did you start playing the drums? Would you like to answer that before I carry on?"
Yes.
Go.
I can't really remember an age. I think it was around 11 or 12. I think it was 11, I think.
Like comp? Had you gone into comp then?
No, I was in my, like, last years of primary school.
All right, yeah.
10, probably more like 10, 11, right?
11. Well, you October now, you're an October baby.
I think it was 11.
So you had turned 11, I imagine.
Yeah. And I'm 28 now.
What? That's old.
Don't start. I'm 28 now, so yeah, probably quite a few years, like, really now. Mm-hmm. With the odd breaks for like A-levels and GCSEs and not practicing as much and doing other things. I was going to say,
you should be a lot better by now then, shouldn't you?
It's true. Yeah. But the reason I started the drums was I was having a terrible time in piano lessons. I absolutely hated it. I despised my piano teacher. She used to smoke fags next to me, like, but her house was a min.
And piano lessons fucking boring though. I had 2, and I said to my mum, Dad,
and it's like, don't take me back here. The phrase "practice your scales" used to send shivers down my spine.
I didn't want to know.
And that. It's one of my biggest regrets is not trying again properly with piano, in terms of like really properly having lessons now as an adult, because I do regret not being able to properly like you know, chord structures and stuff like that. My music theory is not where it should be, and I know that's my one little downfall. But you can't do everything, can you?
I have zero music theory.
Yeah, but I haven't even got the experience on a melody instrument at a certain level to be able to work that through. Like, I just panic and go, oh, maths, numbers, notes, blah, blah, blah. I just read dots, don't I? It's a different thing. It's a different world of music. But yeah, I started playing because my mother worked in a primary school at the time, and she did a Christmas concert in the Valleys. Me and my father and I think my sister went, and this is like an early memory. I must have been about 6, 7. Please correct me if I'm I family members, but I was young. And in the concert, the teachers there were actor musician. They were the band for the children's like nativity or whatever. And I saw a female teacher. I mean, she wasn't like amazing. She was basically keeping four to the floor. We love that phrase. Okay. I've got so much to say about that. That's another podcast. She was just keeping the beats through the hymns and the whatever. And it was a red, you know, like those school drum premier, like rubbish drum kit, but it was like shiny and new. And my dad says like, the only thing I could do is look at this like drumming person, and I was
didn't
like,
really care
what
about anything else.
that?
Just like that.
Yeah, I just saw it and I was like, whoa. So it started there, and I remember we had to wait for my mum to say goodbye to all the parents and stuff, so we were just in the auditorium or whatever. And then obviously my mother was like, she really likes those drums, and then I was allowed to go on there and have a go at playing them. So that was my first ever like sat there and was like, whoa, this is like, it felt like a throne. I was like, I'm in charge here. This is like a car for a young person. Like, I'm driving. And then when I went to primary school, there was a gentleman called Bleddyn Howells, who was at the time the husband of Sarah, who worked in my mum's school. And Sarah said, Bleddyn will teach her like the basics. He's got an electric kit in the attic. So I think like once or twice a week after school, I used to go to his he had like a Roland, a really nice Roland electric kit upstairs. And he just was like, pick a song, a rock song, let's play along to something you like, which I think is what I missed with piano. It was immediately 100%. Another homework for me. It was like script was on the piano, and I had to just read the dots, and they were like cute pictures of frogs and stuff. But I was just like, this is boring. I want to listen to music and play along with this straight away. Like, I was almost like impatient to learn.
Guitar was great, because when I didn't pick up the guitar until my brother left the house, because he was an incredible guitarist. He's like one of the youngest ever for Caerphilly Big Band. He was
so cool, like
super talented. It's a shame he doesn't play anymore. Play, please.
Well, my sister's grade 8 piano, but I don't think she's played in years. It's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing with life?
I'd love to be grade 8 piano. Like, I'd be able to. It's like,
I'd say to him all the time. I was like, here's a guitar. Have this one. I've got multiple. Just play. Just
like, play it. Keep playing.
Just keep playing. Your class. So until he left, then I picked it up. And it was more, again, my thing of, I'm a singer, I need to play guitar or piano to accompany myself. That's what I'm lacking now.
I would have made double the money over Christmas if I could have accompanied myself.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
It would have been less fun. But.
Yeah. But, exactly. Yeah. And then, so when I went in, and Alid taught me, cracking guy, and I basically went, I don't care about them grades. I was like, I'm not interested. I can read music. If I wanted to.
You don't need to.
And it was like, I could if I needed to. Yeah. I don't. My dad plays guitar. He plays by ear. He doesn't really know chord structures or anything like that. My dad can just watch someone or listen to someone. He figures it out. And so my thing was, if I know chords and I use my ear, I'll be fine.
Yeah. And it's like self-taught, and that's fine as well. If that suits you, then that's great.
And he was great, but he was like, right, okay, then we won't worry about them. I think he was like, right, you've got to do grade 1.
You've got to know the basics.
He was like, you've got to do grade 1 because the school have told me.
Yeah.
He was like, to carry on, and he was like, so I was like, all right, whatever, that's kind of easy. You play the one note now. And he was like, right, just pick songs. So we just did. Every week, I'd go and just pick a song, and he'd write the chords down for me, and we'd play. Great. And we'd sing along as well, because he sang and he played as well.
Yeah.
That's how we went about it. Where piano lessons, I thought, I've got to do all your scales, and I was like, that's just boring.
Yeah, and the theory thing really put me off.
Did you ever have singing lessons?
Yes.
As a child, or like professionally lessons?
Helen May. Shout out Helen May. I love Helen May. She was my first proper singing teacher. And I used to go and have them once a week, and we used to sing through anything genuinely, from P.A.Yesu to Charlotte Church,
Nice.
to Tom Jones, to rock and roll, to musical theatre. She did it all with me.
That for me,
It
that
was
is
amazing.
perfect.
And she had this little studio attached to her house. It was almost like another house, but it was, you know, her family were really heavily involved in like music in the valleys and stuff. So her dad did a choir, and then it was like it was like this. It was like a studio, you know. And she used to sit with me on the piano, and correct me if I'm wrong, Helen, I don't think she played loads of piano, but she played enough to accompany me on the songs that she was teaching me to sing. So I did all of my like first ever musical theatre rep, and then I really quickly, Helen May won. Let me get this right now. Oh my gosh, Helen May won Cardiff Singer of the World, or she was in the competition and placed, or at some point, and that's what kind of propelled her classical singing career herself. So she had a love of classical music and opera, and you know, and then because of that, I was really heavily like influenced to sing more of the like P.A.Yesu and the Time to Say Goodbye, and the one. And again, she was picking the really popular ones that I would kind of know, so that I had some sort of want to learn them, because I'd heard Sarah Brighton and Andrew Lloyd Webber doing it, or you know. And she told me the Charlotte Church story about P.A.Yesu and Jonathan Ross and all that. So like they were things that I was like, oh, I'm in now. I know these stories, and I want to try and do that. And I sang classical for years. I entered competitions. I was a classical singer, a little classical singer. I wanted to go and sing opera. Yeah. I wanted to be an opera singer for years. And then, it just hasn't ended up that way. But I would really like, I've been thinking about it recently, I really want to just like upload a cover of like,
why not?
An opera song. Because people who know me now would not have a clue about
like,
that. They'd be like, eh? And they'd probably do the thing of like, oh, she's trying to sing that. And I'd be like, babe, I came from singing that.
Yeah, exactly.
You Latin me up. All right? I know my Latin. Yeah. Also Catholic school. It was perfect. Exactly. I was like, great. I'm singing hymns and I'm singing opera class. Yeah. Like, it made sense. Yeah.
I had one in, I think it was in year 9. I was a little old dude at the piano in school, and we had to do, tell me it's not true. Tell me it's...
Yeah, great.
That, and I was like, this is fucking boring me now. And I went following week, and I'm like, oh, and I was like, I know this. Why are you teaching me this? I don't want to, like... Yeah. I was like,
as soon as you lose a child's, like, interest in learning a full song, they're not going to learn the song. And then I still got piano grade songs that I know I haven't got to the end from years and years ago. Like, I know the first page of grade 4, but I didn't get through it then.
I think I went a little bit later on then to Lisa Starlight. She was
a great name.
I know. Lisa, I think it was Lisa Baker.
Oh, yeah.
She went on The Voice a few years ago. She taught a friend of mine, Carly, and then I went. And we did a couple of songs in her house, but I've never wanted to be taught, like, but that is just me in general. Like I don't want no one bossing me around. That's why I'm a boss of my own company. Just that is the person I am. Like, I know I can sing. I don't need someone to teach me how to sing. Like. It's one of those. Yeah. But I think if I was doing again, I've been in shows where people go to you. I actually talked about it. I saw it today. I did American Idiot 8 years ago.
Oh, I'd love to do
and
that.
And so
Imagine that as acting me as well.
Yes, I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was like, that is one of the perfect ones to do.
Yeah. I'd love to do Jesus Christ Superstars acting musical as well.
Obviously, I play guitar in a few songs in American Idiot anyway. Yeah. So you're three male leads. I was one of the male leads. Yeah, yeah. We all play guitar anyway.
Yeah, so you're basically the band anyway. Yeah. There's so many musicals that are basically acting musical, but they're just not doing it. It's like, you can.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. But we were doing that, and we were learning harmonies and stuff, and they give you the sheet music, and I'm like, the fuck do you expect me to do with that? I was like, I'll just listen to the track, thanks.
Yeah.
And then
I do that. Sometimes I get given sheet music as a drummer. Not often. Yeah. Mostly it's like, people expect that I can't read drum music, and they'll just say, can you can you listen to it and replicate? In
Yeah.
which case I'm like, oh yeah, I'll probably do a bit of that anyway, and then I'll make it my own on drums.
Yeah.
But actually, I quite enjoy being given drum music because
Yeah.
it's a skill that I like to keep up
Yeah.
in terms of being able to read drum music.
I think there's a line that goes from what I do to that professional side where everyone is supposed to
Like robots just go, okay, I'll read that and I'll play like that.
Yeah, but I've seen people on stage reading music while playing.
No, you need to get rid of it.
And there is no feeling whatsoever.
Yeah, there's different types of musicianship, isn't there? Really?
Yeah.
How have we gone to this? What was the question? Did I answer it?
Yeah, you answered it. You were on about
from about
why
the
you
age
started drums.
about 11, and then just fell in love
Why?
with it. One of the biggest influences for me was my dad, knowing that I'd started learning drums and had a keen interest in it. My dad booked tickets for me, my sister, my mum to go to Birmingham NIC. Is it the NIC in Birmingham?
Maybe.
I think so. Maybe I'm making that up. To see Santana live.
Nice.
And my God, the amount of kit on that stage, from the shakers right down to the kit, was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Beverly Knight came on to support. I didn't know she was, but
Yeah.
at that point, she blew my brains off anyway with her voice.
Great
and then he
voice.
came on in his white hat and his
Oh,
white
yeah.
suit, like Mexican.
Yeah.
He is Mexican, is he? I think he is, isn't he? Anyway, and I'm not sure at this point if Cindy Blackman, his wife, who plays drums, I wasn't sure if she was there, because it's only in recent years I figured out that they're together, like that's a thing. But that just opened my eyes to drums, and because you had it was 2 drum kits with basically jazz kit players on there, they were sambering it. It was absolutely unbelievable. And then on the side you had these 2 conga players with tambourines, and they had this huge cymbal setup. And then again, even the guitarists and stuff all had little trays with different It was just an absolute festival, and I still to this day I can put myself in that arena and go, that is when I went,
that's what
this is serious now. I want to really propel in this or whatever. And I still haven't, but I'm still trying. But yeah.
Which leads me on to another questions that my mum has asked me, which she probably should know this anyway, but is there an instrument you would have liked to have learned how to play?
Ooh,
Drums.
That's fun. Oh, is it?
Drums. I've always wanted to play drums. I was, I think probably in my teens, and I was like, if I could swap guitar and piano, I would.
For drums?
For drums. I have a serious love for drums. A lot of people obviously don't know that, but my dad was a drummer. We had electric kit in the house growing up. I fucking love drums.
Yeah.
When I listen to music, if your drum kit doesn't sound good, you're off. There's so much pop music these days. The drums are so fucking tinny, or they're so in the back.
Don't talk to me about that manufactured stuff. I want a real drum kit.
Yeah,
it irks me.
On my first album, they were all fake drums.
And that's the problem.
But
that's an issue. It's because it costs a lot of money. Drums is not something that you can track on a song.
COVID.
Yeah, and you can't even COVID or no COVID. It's now. Even my producer Joe said to me yesterday, because we think about working on this new EP that I can't afford to release. Thank you, funding. I said to him, oh, we'll get Josh in to play electric before he leaves for Australia on the EP. And Joe said, yeah, I can do that in my home studio. And he said, thing is, we can't track drums here. And I was like, well, I've got a drum kit, but it's having an area and the mics and a good room. That's the only problem with drums. So I understand why people, especially if you're not a drummer, you're just thinking, I just need a 4/4 beat, or I'll just pay my friend to do a setup in another room somewhere in the UK, and then he'll send me the recordings. But yeah, I obviously for me to use a machine on my tracks would be horrific.
If I had the option, so obviously I did my album in COVID and Jamie did it all, but he spent 10 grand on all his drum sounds. So they are real, and they are real sounds.
Fine.
In it. Yeah. It's one of those that they feel real. Yeah. And you may not necessarily know that they are not real recorded drums on my album, unless you were properly tuned in. But if I had the choice, 100% they live. I'm doing my second album, you were going to be drumming on it.
Drop that information in.
Yeah, I know. Hey, there we go.
An exclusive, a world exclusive.
World exclusive, yeah. which we're going to start like pretty soon. I'm just waiting for you basically to hurry
Stop-
up and finish.
Stop being a librarian in a rock show.
Yeah. Look fit though. Fit librarian.
Thank you.
The
I
glasses
do like
really suited you as well.
eye suit glasses.
Yeah. I think it's because it covers most of your face.
It's definitely that.
Yeah.
And the fringe as well. The more I can cover, the better, really.
You must have looked banging in COVID times.
Listen, I had a black sparkly mask, which
Nice.
clearly did nothing
Nice.
for the health side of things, but it looked great.
So she's got a question now for both of us.
Ooh.
Is there a part on stage or screen you would have loved to or would have loved to have played, and why? Or maybe we would like to play in future.
Go on then.
Oh God, now you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Would I have loved to have played on stage? Go through a few musicals. It's very difficult for me because I'm not your typical female lead, which is
So is this what
pisses me.
realistically we would be, or what we would want to be cast as? Because like that's a different list. For me.
yeah, that is
I'd love
true.
to be one of the men in Book of Mormon. They'd have a right good laugh in that show.
Yeah,
But I would never get cast as that.
I think I would like to do American Idiot again, and whether that would be like Amdram or professional, I would be, if someone
So up for it, like.
yeah, even if an Amdram were like, we do American Idiot, will you come and do it? I would make time for that because that show was insane.
Yeah.
And I just had so much fun doing that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm struggling with theatre these days.
I'll jump in.
Go on
Give you
then.
a chance to think. I would really love to do an actor-musician version stadium show of Jesus Christ Superstar. And I would love to be a female drumming Judas.
Nice.
That is like genuinely, if that happens in my lifetime, and it ends up being
That is
me.
pretty damn
Like
awesome.
imagine Judas rocking out the drums because he's like going against all of the like.
Yeah.
I just think like, yeah. Waitress. I'd love to be Jenna in Waitress, or any of the women in Waitress, but mainly Jenna, because I just think like Sarah Bareilles and all of her music and the way she writes and the key she writes in.
I know.
I love singing her songs anyway. And Lucy Jones has done it, so why can't I?
Very true.
They've already had a Welsh one though, so maybe that's why not, but whatever. And thirdly, I feel like lots of people go, I want to be Alpha, which is like,
Yeah.
I used to do that, but actually I've taken that off my list now because I think the reality of doing it would make me quite isolated and sad on a job.
Yeah.
I think it's like the creme de la creme of being a vocal gymnastic on a job and looking after yourself like an Olympian. And I just think I'd want to like join in with the cast, and they don't. They keep themselves to themselves, and they really... I'd like to be in the Wicked cast. I'd consider being Glinda or something like that.
I'd consider it. That's great, mate. I'd consider it.
But yeah, I think the reality, now that I'm in the industry and I understand being on tour and how you've got to look after your voice and you've got to be really strict with what you eat and drink and all those things. I think the reality of being Elphaba, for me, I'd be like, it'd have to be the right time of my life. Weirdly, it'd have to be if I was settling down a little bit more and I had a child, like something that would keep me a bit more focused in my routine.
Yeah.
Doing it now, I think there'd be too much distraction of other things that I would want to get involved in and couldn't, and then I feel really sad if I'm away from my family on a tour and all those things. What one that's recently slipped into the list, which I don't necessarily want to play for the right reasons, but in third year in Rose Bruford we did an actor muso version of Spring Awakening, and I was Ilsa. I was Ilsa.
Yeah.
On the drums. I was a drumming Ilsa, and because of COVID and because the theatre shut down the week we were going to do it, we never got a chance to do it, and it was like phenomenal. It was, and it was going to be so good, and it was the third year show, is the thing you work towards, and we just didn't get that chance. So I would absolutely love to have a chance to do that production with that cast, all my friends from uni, with Alexandra Spencer-Jones directing. We just never got the opportunity, and it was really sad.
I think Rent for me.
Mm.
I'm going to see it tonight.
Are you?
Yeah, Memo Creative are doing
they
version
are.
of it. Yeah.
See, that's the only problem when you're in the show. You can't go and see anything.
That's my every weekend. And people are like, "Oh, I'm gigging here." I'm like, "Great, yeah,
Have a nice one."
I'm this place, like,
Yeah.
yeah. I think I would, to be honest, like to play any of them.
In Rent, yeah.
Any character
Rent's a
is
great
pretty
one.
freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But to be honest, musical theatre for me these days is just difficult.
It's
I think
different.
It's like what
there's folky ones like wait. Oh, I've just thought of one. My gosh, how could I have forgotten about that? I will play any/all of the cast have come from away. It is the best show I've seen in years on the West End. I went to see it like 3 times. It was incredible.
One just popped into my head as well.
What?
Hades Town.
Why have I forgotten the like top?
Yeah.
Hades Town or Come From Away. They're just next level theatre for me. And there's a new one as well. I've got friends in it actually who I'm madly jealous of. In the West End, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Oh,
which
nice.
is all actor musician. And I really want to go and see it in London. I could probably get discounted tickets if you're up for that at some point. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, sounds good.
But I really want to see that.
What was I thinking of then? I'm waiting for like another 10 years so I can play.
What are you going to say?
Julie Walters' character in Mamma Mia.
Sound of music.
What?
The hills are alive. I was like, you!
No. I don't think I would get cast in that.
No, well, you never know. Things might change.
Never know. Yeah.
Sure, there's
Highly
men.
doubt it, though.
There are men out there who probably want to play her part.
Yeah, well, they can fucking crack on. I don't.
I'm going to Slovenia next week, and I figured out it's the 60th anniversary of The Sound of Music, so I'm going to watch the film, and we're going to drive to Austria to finally do the tour. I've always wanted to do it. I'm so excited. Anyway, sorry, that's just me being a theatre geek.
So, before we wrap up, let's do some quickfire.
Yeah.
Well, as quick as we could possibly do.
Well, short fire for us.
Bethany Pierce on Instagram has asked us, what job would you have done if you couldn't sing?
I would be an architect.
Nice.
Or a designer.
I would be deceased. Because I don't want to do anything else. I honestly, genuinely believe, what's the fucking point? I'd probably do another job.
What would you do? Come on now.
Oh, fucking hell. If I had, okay.
If you had to choose something, you'd be
If
a tattoo artist. Or a dog sitter.
Nice. If I couldn't sing, as in I was never born with the abilities to sing, right?
There are those people out there.
Yeah.
There's many of them.
Yes. I don't know, because it wouldn't have made me the person I am now.
I swear in it, but I've always on the side, if you chuck on Alan and Amanda,
which I have said,
and I will decorate a house.
We
You've heard it first.
right? I think we're gonna do the podcast this year.
Yeah, cute.
Next year we are going abroad. I don't care where it is.
Italy probably.
Italy,
€1 properties.
Yes,
there.
and
or Spain or
are
France.
We are
Anyway.
going. We are going to do up.
We're gonna go house hunting.
You can probably tell which one is gonna take down walls and which one is gonna go shopping
For cushion.
Yeah.
And paint. But that's great.
Yeah. Like my
That's what they do.
technically my
Alan tries.
he tries, bless him. In all fairness, he created
He's
some
really
cracking
good.
ones in Spain.
The Spanish job is great. The Italian jobs, they're great as well. They're all great.
They are. I love that.
I'm like,
binged
when is the
them.
next series and when can they buy another house? Because honestly, if you haven't seen Amanda and Alan's
Italian/Spanish
job, you need to see it. BBC iPlayer. I think I must have watched it like 3 times. I'm so sad.
I could easily go and watch
But
it all again.
any home decor,
Yeah.
like Kirsty and Phil's Love It or List It,
Yeah.
Home and Away thing. Then you've got like looking for Home in the
Yeah.
Sun. I can't remember.
My-
all of them. I've watched all of
literally,
them.
my-
60-second makeover.
My dad's trade is a painter and decorator. So, very nice.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I've always helped him in the house because he's always done everything.
Ideally, I'd quite like to
So-
decorate a building that I own at some point, but I just don't see that in my
How much you got, like £500 now?
No,
I
I
thought you said
just reached 100.
Oh, it's 100. I thought you said 500. 100. Right, you've got even further to go now. Never mind.
Martin Lewis better tell me how to hurry it up because like it ain't happening.
Bethany have sent another one. She
Okay.
sent loads.
Thanks, Bethany.
So, thank you, hun. Shed, if you could go back to age 14, what would you advise yourself?
Oh, I can't remember 14. Was 14 a good year
I
for
would
me?
probably say don't spend 17 to 23 getting absolutely pissed off your fucking boss. Don't do that. And you may be further along in your career than you already are. Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm grown up enough to make a proper answer to this question.
You're 28.
Yeah, but I feel like I'm still 14.
Yeah,
so
you
I don't
do,
really
actually.
know what...
Yeah.
I would say don't care so much about what you look like, but I'm still dealing with that
You're
now.
still dealing with that, yeah.
I'm very much still there now.
That
That's
is-
what I mean. I don't feel right saying it now because I'm still not over it.
There's pretty much, I've got to tell you that in so many words.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah. Who would your dream collaboration be with and why?
Recently, it has changed from Florence and the Machine. She still remains in the top 3.
Yes.
But more recently, it would be either Ray or C-Matt. C-Matt being top spot. She's taken
Would
top
she?
spot for me. I
Wow.
would love to write with her.
Nice.
I'd love to write with her.
I'm gonna quickly say Sarah Bareilles,
Yeah.
Adam Lambert,
Brandy.
Brandy Carlisle,
Gotta be.
Brandy Clark, another one I'll send you.
All the Brandies.
All the Brandys. And then probably maybe like Sam Fender.
Do you know what? I actually was going to say Sam
Yeah.
Fender as well. Yeah.
I think that would be my top 5, like currently right now.
Now,
Like,
today.
this very second.
To be fair, mine does change quite significantly month to month.
Like I rate C-Matt, but sometimes I'm listening and sometimes I like her voice and sometimes I don't.
Yeah, but her writing.
But her writing is
Exceptional.
bang, like Chaperone.
Yeah, right. with
Like her writing I love, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's how the song sounds.
it
It's
isn't
not
your vibe. Or...
Yeah, sometimes it's
But
not
that's
my vibe.
where the collaboration would come in. You'd put it more into a shift it.
Yeah,
But,
I maybe
yeah.
I would maybe like to go. Actually, what was that girl's name that we did the God Help Me Now?
Ella.
Now her, like I
Vibes.
would like to shift Chaperone to more that vibe, the
Yeah.
more
Indies, yeah.
style.
Yeah, there's loads of pop artists I'd
Yeah,
love
yeah.
to write with, but I think, they'd have to be a bit more quirky.
Sheldon the rapper said, if you could share a tea with any actor, musician in history, what would you ask? Oh.
There's like 2 questions there, isn't
It
there?
is too. It was like, I would
That's
say,
really hard.
why would you choose someone? And then what would you ask? Actor, musician.
I would love to have a cup of tea with... Actor's really hard for me because I've got so many.
Yeah.
I'd love to, on a Welsh level, have a cup of tea with Eve Miles.
Oh.
I think she could literally tell me the phone book
I
and
would-
I would listen.
I would like to share other things with Eve Miles. That woman is,
I love her.
yeah.
She's not been in anything I don't like. I think her acting is so underrated. I think she's absolutely incredible. So Eve Miles I'd like to have a cup of tea with on a Welsh level. Also, bigger level, I would obviously love to have a cup of tea with both Meryl Streep and Titanic. Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet would be
You got like have you been looking at my top 5?
top 5 what?
Oh, you have in school? A top 5?
In terms of men, no, not really. I
You-
never did
you
that.
never did that?
Catholic school, innit? Just wanted to say the Bible.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I didn't have posters on my walls or anything. I had butterflies and then a big
What?
shrine to Jesus. I had my
Are
rosemary.
you serious?
Rosemary? Rosary.
Like,
yeah,
I've-
no, big time. Big time.
I've met your mother.
I had holy water from Lourdes given to me and I had it all on a shelf and then I had my bookshelf.
So what has happened to your mother in the past 10 years then?
It's all gone downhill. No, men, I would love to have a cup of tea with...
You're not answering that one.
No, moving on. Kelly Jones. I'd love to have a cup of tea with him.
Yeah.
I'd love to know more about, like, just everything. And probably someone massive like Anthony Hopkins or some big. All of mine are pretty like female and Welsh, I'll admit, because that's what I'm thinking of straight off the top of my head, which probably means I've got a lot of respect for them and they influence me on the day to day. There's probably loads of other people I'd love to have a cup of tea with.
I think
Alan Carr and Amanda, obviously.
Yeah, I think musically, I would just love to have a cuppa with Freddie Mercury.
The two I first thought of was Freddie Mercury and Amy Winehouse.
And my other one is Elton John.
Yeah, I
think it's like a story and everything he's been through, everything he's done, right or wrong, and I just think he would be a great crack. Like, and
I also think I can speak for both of us in saying that there is an open invitation for Tom Jones to come on this podcast whenever he would like. We'll come to you, Tom.
Yeah, we will.
Like, can you 100%. Imagine that cup of tea?
Yeah. I know.
I've got there. Also, if you want to invite Dolly Parton along, R.I.P. Dolly Parton's husband,
Carl.
Also, when that came up on Instagram the other day,
I thought it was going to say that Dolly had died.
Sorry, I was going to message you straight away to be like, I'm not going to be okay when that happens.
Yeah, I think
her and Tom Jones, for me, female and male singers from like
God status.
I
think I'd go Freddie Mercury, Elton John, Dolly Parton.
Yeah, imagine that. We'd have a whiskey with it, wouldn't it? And Tom.
I think I'd probably have to.
You'd have to break the seal.
Saying that though, all I've dreamt of lately is people coercing me into.
You messaged me the other night.
I messaged it in the morning.
I woke up to a message from Kaysha that was like, "For God's sake, can you stop trying to get me to drink it?" What was it? I was like, with a laughing face. I was like, "What have I done?"
And she was like, "What?" And I was like,
I woke up after doing a
she
show.
had a house party and she'd made me drink, which I ended up drinking, and then like she's smacking someone in the face. And no, I did. I was going to say,
I'm not aggressive drunk. I'm just more annoying. Sometimes I pick a point in the night to just randomly leave it. It's like I have this out of body moment in these clubs where I make sure everyone's got a shot or they're all on a level. I look around, see what's happening, and I go, and I just walk outside and I'll do like a 20-minute stroll down the street on my own. And then only when I realise my phone's been going off for 10 minutes from all of them who are on the dance floor going, did she go to the toilet? She's in the smoking area? What's going on? And then I'll come back to the club and like literally like I've just popped to get some chewing gums or something. And I come back in and just go, I just needed a moment to just be here, just to know that you're all inside that building and I am responsible for the level you're on. I just needed a moment. And then I come back in and be like, anyway, and everyone just goes, oh, you're back now, you?
I would just leave.
Dangerous.
I would just leave. I used to
Irish exit.
Literally so friggin' drunk, and then I'd go home and I'd look at my phone and I'd be like, "Where are you to?" And I've just left. I'm just gone.
For any of our listeners and watchers who are not Welsh, "where you to" means "where are you?" Just to translate that.
Oh, right,
where you to?
Yeah. Where to?
Where you often?
Where to when?
Yeah, hilarious. Next.
I think we had one more, maybe.
I think we had one more.
Bethany, Shellen.
We'll have to do an episode on different types of drunks, that's funny. Oh, we can probably talk about it on Sunday.
I was pretty much a aggressive. I would get myself into serious trouble.
Well, I think that is genuinely why you need to. That's when you know that it's not a good thing that you drink.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a good thing that anyone drinks, really and truly. But I've had friends on my age and stuff who I know if I go out with them, there'll be trouble. And I tend to just not go out with them now because I'm like, you get to a point where I feel like on my night out that I'm trying to enjoy, I'm responsible for you. And I don't like that feeling because I don't know what you're going to do because of, the type of alcohol they're drinking sometimes. Mm-hmm. I've had friends who've been on pints and have been fine. Yeah. And then all of a sudden we'll go like clubbing. They'll have like one little baby Guinness and maybe a vodka. Oh my God, they turn into a different person. And it's like, I don't like that.
It's very, very much I would make decisions because I was drunk and then I would regret them the following morning.
Yeah, no.
Don't get me wrong, like back in my early days when I was like 17, 18, I was quite aggressive and I got banned off vodka at one point.
Tends to be vodka and gin, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pints I used to be pretty okay with, but the issue with... Yeah, it was pretty alright. But the issue then would be that I would drink like 14, 15 pints
The bloat's real then, innit? It's a different
To
thing.
be honest, I think when you get to 15 pints, love, I don't think you really
Yeah,
give a
don't matter.
shit about the bloat.
No,
do you?
you're already on the way to takeaway at that point, you know.
Yeah. Or you've already ordered the takeaway.
True. Sorry, last question, because I'm going to keep talking otherwise.
Last question, because you do need to.
I really need to go.
Yeah. It is from our lovely friend Shauna.
Shauna!
And she said, can you be a mum or mam?
Yeah, what's she mumming for?
Mum.
I'm
Who
going to
are
have a word
you?
with her about that. It's mam.
Who
or
are
mammy.
you? I hate people
Different
that are
valley,
from... Like,
different valley. She's in my valley,
she's
though.
in your valley.
Shouldn't be saying
I
mum.
hate people that are from, like, South Wales and they say mum.
Mum.
It is not fucking mum. It's mam.
Yes,
That is...
gripes.
Yes, one of mine. Can you be a mam and successful in the music industry? Who's doing it well?
I thought that was going to be an easy answer, but unfortunately it's not.
I would personally say that if you are just starting out and you're trying to make it, then no. I don't.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had a child now...
Or you may as well just kiss your career goodbye. You wouldn't have the
not
time.
Not kissing goodbye. I think my priorities would change for a long time, and then I'd be too late because I'm a woman and I'd be older, and then I'd be like, oh, there's no point now. My priorities would change maybe, and I wouldn't be so driven.
I think there are opportunities that you can do while being a mother. But I think if you're in the careers that me and you are in, where it is 24/7, then that adding a child into the mix, or even sometimes a relationship.
Yeah.
I had a really good friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
And the other day, Gaynor, she's watching Gaynor and Tina, right?
Gaynor and Tina.
Right, I love them to bits, right? They're two sisters. They are absolute. I love them. And she said to me the other day, she was like, "Right, so what's the goss? Any relationships?" I went, "I ain't got fucking time for that shit." I was like, I literally
was me
don't.
for 5 years.
Yeah,
genuinely.
I was like, sometimes I don't have time to have a shit in the day, let alone care about another human being. So adding a child into the mix, right, is just, wow, what's the point? And I would want to be that type of person who is with that child constantly.
Like in work.
Yeah, I do not want to be an absent parent. Like, people are shocked when I say that I actually do want to be a parent at some point. Yeah. I do. But I would like to be one that says, bless you.
I'm so sorry.
So allergic to that comment then.
Bless me.
But I would like to be one when I'm in like my 40s.
Yeah, like
Yeah, that would suit me.
I think that's a lot more common now.
Yeah.
Because people are putting their careers first. And
so
that question, kind of like, even if you agree with it, disagree with it, think, yeah, there's loads of people I know who are mums and are actors, and they are absolutely killing the game.
Yeah.
It's possible. I think it's all about balance. And I think if you're somebody who can only concentrate on one thing at a time, probably not.
Yeah.
If you're somebody that balances 10,000 plates every day, maybe adding a child in is just another plate.
Yeah, quite possible.
Because like my friend James and Laura have just had a baby.
Yeah.
James has been auditioning for parts in a few months' time. The baby's like a few months old, and Laura's obviously maternitying at the moment, so she's had to take a bit of time out. But she's got work planned. Like as soon as James comes off Housemates, Laura's going up to North Wales to start a project, and James will look after the child. Like they you can tell from day dot. Like, and they said to me their experience was people saying to them, "Oh, how are you gonna be both self? How are you gonna do that?" And they were both getting really annoyed because they made a point to me that now makes me go, actually, you can actually just do what you want.
Yeah.
And that is that self-employed people are jugglers of time and balancing relationships and balancing family time with projects and shows and gigs and unsociable hours. We do that anyway. Yeah. Whereas somebody on a 9 to 5 having a baby is kind of going, oh, my schedule's going to be all over the place when that baby's born, and you know, and they're not used to that way of life. Whereas Laura actually said, I would love to get Laura on to talk about it in like a year's time to see how she's done with work and juggling it all. I'm sure she'll come talk. She's a movement director as well, so her literal body has changed, like, which is so interesting to see how she's going to transition now into going back up there to do that. But she described it to me like that. She was like, their response to those people would be like, well, that's what we do anyway. Yeah. Sometimes James is away for 2 months. Sometimes I'm away for 5 months. yeah, we got a little person in between, but one of us just has to take responsibility. It's a 50-50 split.
I think
I
as
think
long
they're
as
stronger for it.
you've got a good
Network.
foundation, and you've
Yeah.
I think financials play a part as
That's
well.
true. Yeah, they're settled.
Yeah.
They've got a house now. They're in Cardiff. They know their kind of like contacts and networks. Like they are more settled. Like if I used to have one now, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like
I would be saying, right, okay,
by then,
like where's your next job to earn the money to look after that child?
yeah, there's no
like where's that?
I haven't had a chance to save up proper money yet,
No.
really, because I've spent it all on music. Like I haven't got a house of my own. I don't rent anyway. Like there's so many things in my life that are stopping me from doing that.
Yeah.
And it's not out of want. Like I do want. I'm like you. I want my own children, but yeah, I think it just depends on. I think it's balance, and I think it's how you are as a human being, rather than if you're. Rather than it being like if you're a female in the industry, I think it's what type of human you are and how you balance things.
And also, obviously, it says the word like successful in music.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Like there are so many, and you know, I would say a lot of people that I know that have got children that are doing like the cover gigs in like the Welsh circuit.
Yeah,
they're smashing it with
making
young
way
kids.
more money than us, probably.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
me.
Yes, we are. But they are juggling it great. But a lot of times they've got a partner, or they've got parents or siblings.
Yeah, being a single mother, maybe my answer would be a bit different.
Yeah,
because
but as long as you've got a network, because you know you may have the grandparents, you may have your siblings, you know, and everyone kind of chips in.
Yeah.
But I think that's like anything, any walk of life. As long as you've got a really good network around you, then you will do
whatever you want to do.
just fine.
Yeah. Try then.
Yes, we will say goodbye. Where would you be at this point? You would probably be going to
Pembrokeshire.
Aberystwyth.
Nah.
Yeah, you will.
Is it? I'll be going to Aberystwyth to do Housemates in the Aberystwyth Arts Centre, and then that will be followed by the Torch Theatre, Pembrokeshire, and then I'm unemployed again. Have we got any shout outs to do for people? I feel like we did.
Any shout outs?
I'm sure I sent them to you.
Yes. You sure that you sent it?
Yeah, on to the T for 2 professional number, darling.
Ooh.
A screenshot head. Or we took pictures, right?
Yes, we got one shout out to Cash from Birmingham.
Oh.
That's been following and
yeah.
messaging us on YouTube like every episode.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Yeah, fair play.
She just said, hey, beautiful angels, just dropping you a quick message to say I'm absolutely loving and living for the pod. I just had to get in touch to let you know that it was another brilliant episode this week.
Aww.
Keep up the hard work. It certainly pays off. You're both my favourite podcasters. How
That's
cute is that?
so lovely. That is so lovely.
And honestly, we were talking about with a couple of other people that we saw today that just a like or like subscribing and sharing, anything that we do with the podcast, it really does help and makes us feel
like it's worth continuing.
Makes us feel appreciated. We have
That's
got a shout out to Salsig.
Celsig, Amateur Dramatic Society in Treorchy, they're based. Parkendale. And do you want to read all the details of the show?
Yes. This episode of the podcast is probably going to be out on the 25th of March, which is really good because this starts on the 26th of March.
Well. So a huge shout out to Celsig. They're doing 9 to 5 the musical, in keeping with the Dolly Parton theme that we just talked about a little bit.
That's nice.
And read us off the info.
Parkendale Theatre in Treorchy, Wednesday the 26th to Saturday the 29th of March. Tickets are £18.50 and you can book online at www.rcttheatres.co.uk or you can call into the box office. So have a fantastic run of shows.
Yeah, we'll try come see it. I don't think I'll be able to. I'll be in a show myself.
To be honest, when we popped up to Park and Day, I did have a look at my diary, and that time of month is busy. But I am gonna try because Dolly Parton.
And also, there's a song in that called "Get Out, Stand Up, Get Out, Stand." What's it called? Get up and leave something. The past is in the past.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do now. Stand up and leave.
Stand up and leave. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good song, so just go for that song alone.
Yes.
Have a fab run, everyone, and keep doing what you're doing, and support local theatre because it's really important.
Yes, and we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.